Good morning. Welcome to the Kieno Kammies show. Lots happening on the show today. If there's anything you'd like to get off your chest, do so. But it is such a pleasure to welcome the Sa ParaVolley team to South Africa. They're heading to the African Championships. I've got Simon Chabangu. Simon, great having you here with us.
Thank you.
It was easy to figure out who Simon Chabangu was, right? Because no one gave me and I thought, okay, there are two white guys and Simon Chabangu. So I knew Simon Chabangu was, but I had to ask you two, Garth and Anton, who's who here, right? But Garth Spencer Smith, of course, a member of the team and also the captain. And Anton, how do I pronounce your surname? Raimondo. There we go. You're the team coach. Now, coach, let's start with you.
Well, it's great to be here. Thanks very much for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. Talk to me a bit about this team. And you know what, though, and we've said this before, we don't spend enough time looking at other codes. We deal with cricket and rugby and all the same old. When it comes to what you guys are doing at the moment, when it comes to women's sports, for example, as well, we do very little. And as the media, there needs to be a bit of a wake-up call. And I've said that to our sports department as well. So tell me, give us some insight into your team that you'll be taking up to the African Championships.
Well, the teams comes from all different backgrounds. It's very diverse.
Yeah.
The sport is new. It started only 3.5 years ago, and we've been building it quite rapidly.
Yeah.
There's been a huge amount of interest and people joining and forming clubs, and we've been running camps and coaching workshops and all sorts of things to spread the sport. Mm-hmm. Simon himself is from Limpopo, and he's come down here with one of his teammates and part of a training camp that's been going on for 2 weeks. And yeah, it's very exciting. The team's been training hard. We had some practice matches last night, which went fairly well. So we're very excited to be going to the championships.
Okay, so you made it to the championships, unlike some other sporting codes in the country,
yeah.
which is a very good thing. But tell me your story, Simon Chabangu. You're from Limpopo. Obviously, you weren't part of this 3 years ago and a bit because it's only about 3 and a bit years old. But tell me your story.
Thank you to be here. We come from Limpopo.
Yeah.
And I think for these sports, take us from the street. So we are happy to be at these sports. And unfortunately for now, the sport is going very well. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of teams at Limpopo. I think it's fine.
You know, that's the good thing about sport, right?
Yes.
It unites people.
Yes.
It creates opportunity.
Yes.
It's a bit to divert. My ADD will allow me to do this. You know, chess, for example, being played in poorer areas, get the kids off the streets.
Yes.
Creates opportunities for them when they become good enough. They get to see the world. So it's not necessarily just about going to work at some particular place or studying. Studying's good. But sport is a key driver for social cohesion in the country, to make us believe in ourselves and to create that opportunity. Now, the captain. How well does this team actually perform? So tell me, Garth, how do you compare to the rest of, let's say, the continent after only a couple of years on the scene?
That's a good question. I think at this stage we can't really say how well we're going to play compared to the others because we haven't played internationally before. Is
this your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there's 8 teams that are scheduled to 8 men's teams at the champs, and we certainly hope to do well against them. But we know that the top team in Africa is Egypt, which got the bronze at last year's Paralympics.
Right.
But we certainly hope to give everybody a good game and obviously come away with a number of victories.
Have any of you been to Kigali before?
No.
I tell you what, you go to Rwanda, it's probably one of the cleanest places. I mean, other than having a president that might or might not knock people off in our hotels in South Africa, it is a great place. Tech innovation, it's an amazing, clean country. So I think you're going to be enjoying that. How does the funding work? Because, you know, I mean, herein lies the rub. You get 3 teams or 3 sporting codes that probably take the lion's share of sponsorship out there. How are you able to actually get yourselves over?
Yeah, funding's been a key issue. I've actually spent a lot of time in developing the sport, approaching existing government bodies and Volleyball South Africa, who administer the sports for volleyball, and there hasn't been any funding. And it's been difficult approaching them and asking them for funding. It's just doesn't seem to go anywhere. So the funding for this team is actually The players have contributed where they can.
Yeah.
I've taken the lion's share of the costs, and that's how we've been developing the sport as well. It's been self-funded. We've got some grants from World ParaVolley, which is the World Federation. They've been fantastic in providing some coaching courses where they've taken on some of the costs. They've also provided us with equipment.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge step up, because the equipment cost is one of the main things. Halls we actually can get for free. Transport costs is an issue. It's always an issue because not everyone has transport, and public transport doesn't always work in some of the regions where the sport's played.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what it comes down to in terms
tell
of
you
funding.
what, you've got a friend in the show. If you'd like to use this platform to request that type of assistance, then I will be more than happy to open it up to you whenever you need to do that.
Yeah, well, that would be fantastic.
Thank you.
Because this is just the start. We're looking at building up. We've got the World Championships next year. This competition's a qualification for that World Champs.
Yeah.
We want to get a women's team. We've got a lot of women players, especially in Limpopo, actually.
Yeah.
And we could have had them training, and we could have sent them to the African Championships if we had funding available for that.
Well, what you need to do, and John Smythe, our sports editor, has just walked past. I have to have a word with him at some stage. But I'd like you guys to just detail what your core and your key needs are. And then as a show, we can always highlight that and see. Because we've got people that are able to assist listening to this particular radio station. And if you happen to be one such person, then you can give us a call this morning on 021 446 0567, or just call us off air, and I'm happy to connect you to the ParaVolley team going up to Kigali, to Rwanda. And yeah, I wish I had a half an hour to talk to you, but I don't. So we're cruising into news as we speak. I can just wish you Godspeed and all the rest of it. And if there's any requests that you have, please. Anything in particular? Anything you'd like to say in closing?
Well, I'd like to just welcome the South African public to take a look at the sport, see what it's about, because this is relatively new in the country. So Google sitting volleyball, check out some videos. It's a fun action sport. There's a lot of spiking and blocking, and just like regular volleyball. It's great. People might not know, but you actually play on the ground. Your bum's on the ground and you're sliding around. So you're not actually sitting in wheelchairs or anything like that. And anyone can play. It's probably the most inclusive team sport in the world. Able, disabled, male, female, almost any ages can play together up till national level. At international level, it splits out and it's disabled only.
I was just going to say, I would love to play a game, but don't ask me to wear a speedo. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But guys, thank you very much for your time. And I'm not just saying it. I know we say a lot of things in the media. If we can help enable you, we will. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.